Hi guys, it's Mom. I just want to let you know that your dad and I went to So Chic today, and I signed up for a class, and it's going to be called the Jelly Roll Patch Quilt, and it starts on Monday, the 16th of April. It'll be 3 hours long, and it'll be 3 Mondays until April the 30th. I'm really excited about going to the class, because I'll be able to meet other women that are going to be doing the same thing that I'm doing. This is the jelly roll patch that I'll be making. It is from the Straight to the Point series. I can't wait to start on this. And I'm using Moda, Kansas Troubles from Moda. I will be using the Dreamers Poly Batting. And it's really, really soft. This is going to be my sandwich. It's going to go in between the backing and the front of the quilt. I will also be using the 505 adhesive. This is really, really great for spraying your material instead of using pins. This is going to be my backing and my borders. It's also from Kansas Troubles. It's called Cattails and Clovers. This will be the cornerstones of the quilt. And this is my jelly rolls. These are all different colored jelly rolls. I will be using darks and lights and mixing them all up. It's 2.5 inches wide, and it's 45 inches long. Hi, welcome back to part 2 of my quilt class for the jelly patch, and I'll let you know exactly what we were told to do for this week, our project to do at home. We went ahead and we were told to cut our strip in half like this. We're to do all of them like this, and then we're going to sew them a 1/4 inch all the way across. Once we've done that, then we are to cut whatever's left over. That way it's squared off. So I'll show you now what we had to do. Okay, now I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch all the way down, and then I'll show you what else is next. Okay, now that you've sewn them together, you're going to go ahead and press it to the dark side. And once you've done that, then you can cut this off, this excess off, that way it's squared. So you just open it up. Open it up and just sew it to the dark side. And then cut it right here in the corner. And I've already sewn all of these. They've all been pressed back, and I've got them all lined up right here. And what we're going to do now is cut them 2.5 inch squares, and I've done some of them right here, and I've just kind of put the pile on the sides. That way, once all of this is done, you can do the same thing on this side, and then we'll do the next step. I'm going to be using my rotary cutter, and I've got my Omni Grip ruler, and I'm making sure that it's at 2.5 inches, and I'm making sure also that it's aligned before I cut it. So here's my first cut, and this is what you'll get, and you just do all of the row all the way to the very end, and you'll probably have a little bit left over. I just went ahead, and sometimes it's either 1.5 inch or 1/2 inch, and I'm saving it for another little project. So I'm going to go ahead and cut all this off, and then I'll come back and I'll show you what I'm going to have to do next. I already finished cutting all my 2.5 inch squares. Now it's a matter of you do a dark with a light, and just go up dark with a light all the way until you get a 16 inch patch. Then I'll just go ahead and sew all that together, make sure that it's squared, and then I'll take it to the next step. So now I'm going to go ahead and start sewing my 16 patch, and I'll come back with you and let you know how this goes. I've already gone ahead and I've already attached all my 2.5 inches to the rest, and I've done my very first block, and that's what it looks like right now. So I'm going to be working on attaching the rest of them until I can get a full block, a whole bunch of blocks together, and this is what they're going to look like. So wish me luck getting them all together, and I'll be back. Okay, it's almost 4 o'clock. I started at 8:45, and this is how far I've gotten. Out of the 6 rows that I'm supposed to do, which is a total of 24 squares, I've only done 8. I can't tell you how many times I've had to take it apart, which this one I have to take apart because it's supposed to be dark, light, and as you can see, I went light, dark, dark, dark. So I have to take this whole line right here. All of this that you see right here, I've chain stitched all of this, so it's kind of ready for me, but I'm having a little bit hard of a time. So let's see how long it's going to take me to do all of this right here plus what I have in the other room. And I guess we'll come back later. Maybe it'll take me a week to get it done, but I have to get this taken care of before Monday because that's my second class. I'll come back. Well, good morning. Today is Saturday, April the 21st. It is almost 10 o'clock, and last night I stopped working at 10 o'clock at night. I finished all the squares, and as you can see, I've got them all laid on the table. I have to do 6 rows down, 4 across, and that will be my throw. Today what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use my square ruler. I will measure them 8.5 all the way around and make sure that they're completely squared before I start to sew the lattice on it, and we'll see how far that's going to get me today. I've got today and tomorrow to get this taken care of, so I'll come back and I'll let you know how much we've done. Bye. Okay, I went ahead and I've already squared all my squares to 8.5 inch squares. All of them are done. I've got the pile right here. There's 24. 24 will make a throw. Now I'm going ahead and I've got my material laid out. This is going to be for the lattice. And it's 2.5 inches wide by 8.5 inches long. And I've already started pre-cutting some, so this is what the size are going to be. This is going to be attached to the 16 patch square. So I've got a lot of cutting to do, and I'll be back when I'm done. Okay, I went ahead and I've already cut the lattice, and I went ahead and I attached one. That way you could see what it's going to look like. I still have to trim this part, that way it's 10.5, or I'm sorry, it's 8.5, but once I add the other part on the bottom, it will become a 12.5 inch block. And I've chain pieced part of it, that way you could see what this is. And all I have to do is just snip off these pieces right there. But here is the cornerstone and then the other piece of the lattice. So let's see what happens after this. Hi, welcome back to my class. This is the second class of 3 parts. Today is April the 23rd, 2012. And this is what I got done today. It was basically putting the side strips together. And here's one of them that's completed, and my job for this week is to start attaching my rows. It'll be 6 rows down, 4 rows across. So I will be attaching this to this. Oh, I can barely see it, but it'll be like this. I'll show you when I'm completed with one. It'll be like this. It'll be 4 rows. This will make a throw. One of the tidbits that I learned today in class was when you have a piece of fabric that is not aligning with the other, you are to start, you pin it from one corner and then you pin it to the other corner. Then pin it in the center, or maybe do a pin right here, and then pin another one right here. Let me show you. One here and another one here. And then right here in this corner, so this will be aligned together, put a pin, match the seams to where they nest together. You'll feel it whenever you push them together, and pin it right here in the center. Then you can open it up and you will see that it's aligned to this spot here. When you sew it, do not sew it on this side. Sew it on this side. Sew it from here all the way down. What this does is the feed dogs will be on this side instead of on this side, and it should match together. Always sew it on this side, not on this side. Especially if one side is longer. Pin it from side to side, and then pin it in the center, and then sew it on this side. So this is my project for the week. I've got to sew all the rows together, and once I'm done, I'll get back with you and I'll show you how far I've gotten. Thanks. Good morning, everyone. Today is April the 24th, 2012, and this is how much I've gotten done now. I've sewn all the strips, the 4 strips to make one long strip, and now I'm going to go ahead and connect the 6 strips all together to make my throw. Once I get that done, I'll come back and I'll let you see what it looks like. Okay, well, I finally finished it all. This is what I came up with. This is part of the throw. I went ahead and I sewed it's 6 rows down, 4 across, and now what I have to do is I've got to go back to the class on Monday, and they're going to show us how to cut it into 3 pieces, then re-sew it. Then I have a 2.5 inch border to attach to it, and then another 2.5 inch border with the squares all the way around it, and the last border will be a 4.5 inch square, and that should finish it. So we'll see how it goes come next week, Monday, the 30th of April. I'll see you guys later. Okay, bye. Today's Friday, and I can't wait until Monday, so I went into So Chic, and I asked for help because I wanted to see how they were going to cut it. I went ahead and I marked A, B, and C, and a teacher went ahead and cut it for me. It was easy, but you have to make sure that you pin it all the way through on the bias, and you cannot stretch it. So I have to sew this part B. I've got to sew first, and then the other part, which is this long one right here, that will finish off the square. So once I'm done with this, then Monday I'll be going to the class on April the 30th, 2012, and I'll be able to finish the rest of it. So we'll see how it goes for me on Monday. See you later. Bye. Okay, so I finished my quilt, and it's 59 by 72, and it's big. Considering it's a throw. I really like the way it turned out, so I hope you guys like it too. I'll talk to you later. Bye.